It's another day down by the river. It's Saturday, and I don't know. I think it might be the 16th of July, 2022. The days are kind of passing fast here. Had a lot of things going on, and here I am down by the river, another little spot, and these guys are going mental. Is this not like the coolest shit? Oh, I love these plants. They call them Lydio. They have some like purple flowers that come out. Yeah, Lydio. Yeah, the dogs love them. Look at that. It's a beautiful day. A beautiful morning. Ah! And, and yeah, just having a little short fun down at the river. Oh, at 10 o'clock I'm supposed to meet my horse trainer at the stables. And there's Camino. And that's Oso. And that's Nopales, El Bebon. Anyway, yeah, I get set up. I could never seem to get a hold of the helper there at the stables because we got the barrel cut in half for the food and water, but it's got some glue or something in one of them that's supposed to be for the water. It's got to be taken out. You guys got to be set up. Got to get, got water and feed and all that shit. Oh my god. So I'm about to learn what it's like to take care of a horse. I haven't, I don't have a whole lot of, I have a slight idea from what I've been learning, but I guess it's a lot. Why did I buy a horse? I don't know. I've been training, first training on a mule, because I thought I was going to buy a mule, and then the mule I was training on, the owner, well, he suspended training because he didn't want to spend the money. Because basically what I was doing was kind of piggybacking on training the guy was paying for the mule, and plus I give the trainer a little extra money. Not much. It was like for four sessions, like $25. That's not much at all. But if he's working for me, I'll probably have to pay him more. So that's the deal. Oh man, I'm trying to climb up this thing. I got really bad sciatica. In the morning I wake up and I'm in a lot of pain. And coming down and climbing this stuff is probably the best therapy for me. I take my cannabis medications, pills, drops, you name it, and a little coffee with some mescal in it. And all of it together helps. Plus the walking, just climbing these places and stuff, that massages the area in question. It makes it, well, massages it, and then next thing you know, I'm good for the whole day, just about, depending on the day. Oh. So, it's a little steep there. The dogs are so strong. They go blasting up this stuff like it's nothing. Yeah, and they love it too. They love blasting through this. I wonder how the routine is going to change with a horse. Because I don't want to leave the horse in the stall, of course. Take the horse out. We can come here and graze and hang out. That's an idea. I'm not at the point where I can, saddle up the horse myself and go riding away. But as long as I know what I need to do to lead the horse away, I can take the horse out and alleviate lots of stress, because this is a horse from a line of race horses. And because the horse is from a line of race horses, this is a horse, they say the horse's blood is hot. So this horse wants to fucking run and play and do shit. Funny thing is, the horse, after riding the horse rubs her head all over me. He said, don't let the horse scratch her head on you after riding. That's bad manners. The horse is showing bad manners. Okay, so I wouldn't let the horse rub her head on me, so I scratched her head a little. Thing is, I have a tendency to spoil animals. And in Mexico, they don't spoil animals. They train them and they have obedient animals. They like obedient animals. They don't like animals spoiled and expecting all kinds of special shit. That's like a big no-no. So I'm breaking all the rules out here. Now it's a different story when you go into the city. It's the people in the countryside, because every animal has a purpose. None of this pet stuff. Oh, that's for children. The adults, they're not into pets. They're not into pets. They're into their families, into taking care of their families, not taking care of pets and giving them extra attention. If somebody wants a pet, that's a child's job. They take care of the pet. They do the watering and cleaning and feeding, not the parents. So sometimes the children make pets out of mules or the donkeys or whatever. The mule I was falling in love with was bonding with a little 12-year-old girl. She looked younger. She looked like 8, but she was 12. Bonding with that girl. So I guess that's probably why the price was so fucking high. The guy wanted like $2,500 at first, and then he dropped it by $500. I didn't really want to spend that kind of money on a mule. Where the hell these guys go? They're way in there. I don't feel like going in there. I got bare legs, and go in there, trying to walk through slowly. I'm like breakfast for the mosquitoes. I don't feel like being breakfast for the mosquitoes. Oh, look at those hills. That's why I love this region so much. It's those hills. I had dreams about those hills, believe it or not, years before discovering that this area had such lovely hills. Because I used to come to Jesus Maria here in Aguascalientes with my husband for a number of years. First time I came was 2003, and I wasn't able to explore on my own. I was always with everybody. I came to Mexico 2020 and I was totally on my own. That's it. And that was better, because coming all these years to Mexico and always being under the watchful care of somebody was like suffocating. And then I came, and then I just, whatever fuck I want to do, I'm going to do it. Nobody likes it, tough. So I told my husband, I said, you better watch it. I said, because I'm the kind of person, I can disappear into a country like this and survive. Trust me, I fit right the fuck in very well. And I don't want to fucking leave. I miss Bulgaria, but I'm having like the experience of my life in this country right here. And it's not to say Mexico's perfect. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I don't like, but it's not anything like serious. Oh, you know what? Mexico has like the best weeds. A lot of their weeds have lots of flowers. And this plant here, it's a weed. It grows up in everything, and people are always pulling it out of their gardens. And this is what happened when you don't pull it out of your garden. You got a big bush full of flowers. Looks like something you planted, something you bought at Home Depot, right? And these are weeds, okay? They just grow up out of everywhere. And they vary in color. Sometimes they come out white, sometimes they come out yellow. The yellow ones are slightly different in their stalks. But look at these guys, man. They're just like so pretty. Yeah. I love flowers. I don't know shit about flowers. I'm not really like a flower person. I was always a snake person. So, I can tell you all kinds of shit about snakes. I can't tell you shit about like flowers and stuff. I know a little bit about plants, just enough to, enjoy them and, plant them and stuff. But, yeah, I love flowers. I love flowers. I've got like millions of flowers on my phone in the photo library. I got more pictures of flowers than people. And then I love insects, and there's like all kinds of really cool colored insects around these parts, and I love taking pictures of insects and the crazy spiders. I fucking love spiders. My husband drove my tarantula down last year. Gee, I couldn't believe he did that. Drove my tarantula down. Not that the tarantula is so much work to take care of, it's just that, maybe trying to get some brownie points, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not an easy person to get brownie points with. I don't impress easily. I'm appreciative of many things, but don't expect me to turn into a fucking princess because I drove my tarantula all the way from Atlanta to Aguas Calientes. Well, tarantula's been eating pretty good. We got lots of crickets at the ranch, and they're natural because they live out in the wild or in the garden, and so they're not like these farm-raised crickets. And man, the tarantula loves those crickets. Holy shit. I put a cricket in there and bang, she grabs it. Yeah, the tarantula is originally from Mexico. It's a Mexican fire leg. And look, the animal's been returned to his country of origin. That's funny as fuck. I think this is the weekend that they're doing, let's see, what's today? Today's the 16th. I think this is the weekend for the Pure Vision out in California, out in the mountains of California. What my nephew Bruce and his gang used to do. It's like the house music, deep house music crowd. It's kind of like a culture, and they're having their big music festival, or they're gearing up for it or something. I went to 2 of those. The music would put me into a trance, and actually fell asleep right up against the stadium, or the stage rather. Yeah, I was sitting right up front, and I went into a trance, and I fell asleep during the guy's whole set. The sets were like, I think 2 or 3 hours long. Yeah, I fell asleep through the whole set, and I was like in deep sleep. And I was not drugged up. I don't do drugs. I smoke a little weed, but I don't do drugs. I don't even hardly drink. I only just drink enough to take pain out of my butt or my feet or my legs. But okay, there they go, running around. Look at this. I'm getting almost a 15-minute video here. I don't even know if anybody would even watch this shit or even listen to what the fuck I got to say. Not that I care. Oh, look at them go. Dun, 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 dun. I love it when these guys get mental. They're rough. They're tough. They're guardians of their humans. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, there he goes. That dog loves to run. My dog loves to run. That's great, though. So I'm going to have a horse that loves to run. And I have a dog that loves to run. That's cool. That's really cool. I have this like childhood type fantasy where Rose is going down the road on her horse, and the dog is running along, and I've got chickens hanging onto my shoulders or something, you know? I mean, that's like really crazy. I don't think I've ever grown up. That's the whole problem. I've grown up to a certain degree on like maybe like the left part of my brain. Oh, that makes sense, because the part that got smashed in the accident all those years ago was my right side of my brain. So left side of my brain is you know, adult, logical. You know, I can do, you know, math equations. When I was a math student, you know, I used to be able to do problems that would go on for pages. You know, it was a good feeling. I felt great. But like the right side of my brain, that's your creative, you know, time doesn't exist side. That side's crazy. All right, that side is that's the side that got banged up pretty bad. That in that part of my brain lives a child. The child's always been there. So because the child's always been there, every place I've ever been my entire life, I always end up getting into trouble. Like when I worked for corporate America, I was always in trouble. People always, because I was too happy, I was always singing and making up songs for my coworkers and shit like that. And they didn't like that. They liked everybody to look serious and scared of management. And I wasn't into that. But yeah, and like, you know, the right side of the brain, that's a funny place, I guess. I probably lived there a lot, in the right side of my brain. At least I have been lately. And when you live on the right side of your brain, well, it's a lot more fun there. I don't do any more math problems. I don't write computer programs. I don't, you know, I don't try to analyze the fucking problems anymore. You know, figure problems out. I figure other problems out. Problems of manifesting a fantasy that I have. Okay, I got this fantasy that this refuge. It is it's the ranch and refuge of Rosa la Peligrosa Rojas. Right, so it's a ranch and refuge of Rose, of dangerous Rose Rojas, and there are, you know, animals. Not a lot of animals, but maybe a variety, but not a lot in each group. But I really want to have milk goats and have some yogurt. I really want that bacteria from Bulgaria, because they got the best bacteria, and wow, they got the best yogurt. Since eating yogurt in Bulgaria, I can't eat the slop on this side of the Atlantic because it tastes disgusting. And so, yeah, goats, animals to ride, like a horse, maybe a donkey, stuff like that. And chickens, of course, you know, for some eggs. I don't want to kill the chickens, but one never knows. Yeah. And plan is, well, I'll be doing some like little journeys into those hills up there, because like I got land somewhere over there. Okay, I got land over there. It's like a little more than an acre, and it's, you know, it's rough land. We have to clear out some of the brush, but we can't take out the cactus trees nor the mesquite trees. We can clear little pieces, take out some other brush that, you know, that's not protected by federal law, and you know, put a little, like, you know, rustic place to live off grid, and it'll be enclosed like a corral for horses, and I'll be living inside the corral, but I'll have like another corral piping around the living area, so I don't have horses running through the front door, because I don't want that. I mean, it might look cute in a video on Facebook. Trust me, you don't want fucking horses running through your house, you know. And like, they're real nosy, and they might start chewing on shit and take a shit, stuff like that. But I don't mind the chickens running through. Probably have house chickens. I'll probably have some house chickens, but then there'll be the other chickens. The house chickens are okay. It's all right. And so there'll be spots where if people want to come visit, they could you know, pitch a tent, or inside I'll have some hammocks hanging and sleep in there, and extra bicycles for anybody who wants to venture into the hills. And you know, maybe I'll have some extra tents. I only got 2 right now, and they're, you know, for like one person. One that looks like a coffin, almost just covers your body. I used that in 1999 when I took that 7-week motorcycle trip. I brought a little tent, and for part of the trip I was sleeping in the tent. Yeah, it was a great tent. It even was tested in a very terrible storm that spun a tornado not far from where we were in the campground. I say we, me and the other people who were camped out there. That was in Illinois, I think. Yeah, it was very far away from any city, because I followed an extremely rural route, so far from cities. I didn't want to be near any fucking cities. I don't particularly care for cities. I'm not a city person. I'm exactly where I like to be, out in the fucking brush. I'm gonna go up into those hills over there that I was pointing out. I can disappear in there for hours. I one time got stuck on top of one of those mesas. A mesa is like a plateau, but it's not large enough to call it a plateau. But it's flat on top. You climb up on there, and then it's flat as fuck for a while, and it's kind of a, you know, it's a different world up there. I got stuck up on one of the mesas because I was picking the psilocybin mushrooms up there in the, I guess it was in August or something. And the sun went down fast. I was trying to get down. I was trying to look for a different trail down because it was a rough trail going up. I didn't want to go down the same trail, so I figured, well, I'll find a different trail down. Well, there was a different trail, but the sun went down. I couldn't fucking see. I couldn't tell the difference between 2 feet and 200 feet. So, yeah, when I couldn't tell the difference between those distances, I said, it is time to stop and just call it a night. And so I found a safe place on like a big rock or something, under one of these robles. They call it oak tree. They're very different, and some of the branches were brittle. So I collected some branches and I covered myself in branches, and I slept there for the night. Yeah, and it was okay. And then I punched out a tire the next day. Shit. And then so it was a long trip back home. Long trip back home. Yeah. And I crossed the agricultural lands of the agricultural university, and look at it. They found another dog is walking through. Probably belongs to that lady that just went by. They're not going to do anything. They're just curious. But yeah, so like, I'm not supposed to do that, but I wasn't gonna fucking go around. I just scooted under the barbed wire, pulled the bike under the barbed wire, and crossed. And then next thing you know, I got security coming on their 4-wheelers. Yeah, you know, you're not supposed to be like crossing here. It's private property. I'm like, yeah, but you know, I just slept up on the mesa. I want to get home the fastest way possible. He goes, oh, okay. And he says, well, let me guide you to the entrance. And this way. I said, okay. So it was as good because I wouldn't have known exactly the complex. So he guided me out. We had some great conversation that morning. Oh, it was wonderful. And yeah, it was a great day. It was such a wonderful trip. Lots of hours, you know. I love it. Lots of hours going up, lots of hours trying to come down, giving up, and then coming down the next day. I loved it. It was great. So when I go back up in those mesas, if I'm going to plan to stay up there tonight, I'm going to make sure I have a fucking tent and provisions. Because the only provisions I had was the cactus fruit and some of the psilocybin mushrooms, and what else? Oh, some cactus flour cookies. They dry the cactus, and then they make flour, and they make cookies out of it. It's kind of like a gluten-free recipe or something. So anyway, This is another long ass fucking video. And so today is I think the 16th of July. Could be wrong. Might be the 15th, but I think yesterday was the 15th. So 16th of July, 2022, and this is Rosa La Peligrosa over here in El Refugio and El Aurero of Jesus Maria, Aguascalientes, Mexico. Dun, 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 dun.